Good morning, my dear students. Today I am going to explain the chapter Deep Water. We had left some of the paragraphs from this chapter, so I am just going to explain the paragraphs that we left. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. This was the decision taken by the narrator. Finally, he realized that I won't be able to cope with the stress. It will haunt me always in my life, so better I should find out the solution of my problem. This was the decision taken by the narrator. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week, an hour each day. The instructor put a belt around me. This is the way he learned how to swim. This whole things actually express the determination and punctuality and a sense of complete devotion and dedication to remove the fear, the terror that has installed in his mind. He was now going to uninstall the fear that was in his mind. A rope attached to the belt went through a pulley that ran on an overhead cable. He held on to the end of the rope and we went back and forth across the pool. This was the way process of just teaching him how to swim. Hour after hour, day after day, week after week, on each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized me. While even learning, he was sometimes being terrorized with the presence of the water, and he was haunted by the past experience. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and I went under, some of the old terror returned and my legs froze. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack. Slack here refers to now it was going to be erased. Now he was going to overcome his fear of water. Then he taught me to put my face under water and exhale and to raise my nose and inhale. Now this shows that now he was removing or deleting or just overcoming his fear, and now he was able to how to inhale, breathe in, okay, and how to exhale, breathe out inside the water and outside the water. I repeated the exercise hundreds of times. Bit by bit I shed part of the panic that seized me when my heart went underwater. Next, he held me at the side of the pool and had me kick with my legs. For weeks, I did just that. At first, my legs refused to work, but they gradually relaxed, and finally, I could command them. Means now he was able to use his brain, use his intellect. Now he was able to just command his legs and hands that were very much important in swimming. Thus, piece by piece, he built a swimmer, and when he had perfected each piece, he put them together into an integrated whole. In April, he said, now you can swim, dive, and swim the length of the pool, crawl, stroke. These are the swimming methods like crawling and stalking, like this. I still wonder if I would be terror stricken when I was alone in the pool. I tried it. I swam the length up and down, tiny vestiges of the old terror. Vestige here refers to the faces, but actually sometimes he was terrorized with the past experiences. But now I could frown and say to that terror, now he has, removed the terror completely, trying to scare me. Well, here is to you, look. And off I go for another length of the pool. This went on until July, but I was still not satisfied. I was not sure. This is his self assessment. The narrator is telling that I was not satisfied with myself. It means he was assessing, he was checking, you know, he was analyzing himself, how much learning I have. And this is perhaps the most important, okay, point that we will have to learn from this chapter, that don't depend on others, that they will assess you, that will check you, and that will analyze you. Just try to analyze yourself. Just try to just assess yourself. Whatever activity, whatever action, whatever work you are doing, just bring some perfection in it. Okay, try to bring perfection in it, and always assess and examine of the work, okay, yourself. This went on until July, but I was still not satisfied. I was not sure that all the terror had left, so I went to lake. This is the name of the lake, Wentworth in New Hampshire. Dived off a dock at Triggs Island and swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. These are the name of the islands, okay, lakes. There he just swam and just came to realize that now I am a good swimmer, I am a well-versed swimmer, and now I can just swim everywhere. I swim the crawl. These are the types of swimming: crawling, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. Only once did the terror return, when I was in the middle of the lake. I put my face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. The old sensation returned in miniature. Means once again it came, the terror. I laughed and said, "Well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me?" Now he was challenging, okay, at the face of the terror. It fled and I swam on. Yet I had residual doubts. At my first opportunity, I hurried west, went up the Titan to Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creek Trail to Mida Glacier, and camped in the high meadow by the side of Warm Lake. These are the area where he just went for swimming. The next morning, I steep dived into the lake and swam across to the other shore and back, just as dog openers used to do. Means this is one reference is there of a well-known swimmer of that area. I shouted with joy, and Gilbert Peak, okay, returned the echo. Means he reached at the peak, okay, and then shouted with elation and extreme happiness. I had conquered my fear of water. The experience had a deep meaning for me. As now, this is the final explanation of the chapter the narrator is giving. Actually, he's telling that this chapter, this experience, and is very important for me. Now see what he's telling. I had conquered my fear of water. The experience had a deep meaning for me, as only those who have known a stark terror and conquered it can appreciate. He is telling, indirectly, he is telling that only wearer knows where the shoe pinches. Means those who are under some problematic situation and circumstances, and when they have come out from that circumstances and problems, they will only understand what is the meaning of victory and conquer, and what is the meaning of experience and hard work. Those who are not in the problem, they will not appreciate, praise, okay, and say it a good story. Now see the explanation. In death there is a peace, there is a terror only in the fear of death, as Roosevelt knew when he said. Roosevelt was the American president, okay, USA president. So see how he was motivating his soldiers, as Roosevelt knew when he said, all we have to fear is to fear itself. And this was the also teaching of Mahabharata, when Arjun's son was surrounded with 7 great warriors, and he knew that his death is sure and certain. Still, at the face of death, he very boldly and bravely fought with all the 7 warriors. So there was a teaching there that don't be terrorized, even the death is before you. William Shakespeare says about death, with the mouth of with the words of Caesar, in death there is a peace. Here is telling, in death there is a peace. There is a terror only in the fear of death. There Shakespeare says, danger. Danger, he is calling death danger. Danger and I are twin. I am the elder one, okay. more brave, and more terrible. In order to sympathize Calpurnia, the wife of Caesar, Caesar very boldly says, okay, before her, that the death has seen, the danger has seen my back. When it will see my face, it will vanish. We are the twins, okay, littered with the same spirit. I am the older one, more dangerous and more terrible. So this was his achievement, okay. This was his a statement about, death. He is once saying that the most unique things, okay, most strange things I see that men fear with death. It will come when it will have to come. So death is ultimate reality of our life. Life is punctuated. Life is started with birth, okay, and punctuated with death. So death is sure and certain. Nobody can stop that. I am eating, I am washing, I am doing something, I am moving somewhere, I have planned for some trip. The death will come, okay, and it will not give you time for that. Indirectly, the narrator means by this statement is that death is sure and certain, okay. So we should not install a sense of fear in our mind. We should always try to be brave and bold in all these situations and circumstances, and we should not leave the hands of devotion, dedication, okay, and determination towards our work. Whatever we wish to do in our life, that we should do with 100% devotion and dedication. The same things the Roosevelt, okay, the American president, tried to install, tried to just remove the fear from his shoulders. Soldiers, in death there is a peace. After death there is no tension or nothing. In death there is a peace, there is a terror. Only in the fear of death, the human being, okay, terrorized or frightened when they came to know that they are going to be dead and they will be killed. So same thing is telling, bec all we have to fear is to fear itself. Means we all have to fear that how fear should not install in our mind, how fear should not come in our mind. That should we keep a fear. Means we should try to remove uh, fear of death, because I had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. The will to live somewhere somehow grew in intensity. Means when you will remove uh, when you will remove your fear from your mind and just start living boldly. Boldly, are not able to terrorize others or just humiliate others. Here, boldly refers to that you just remove your stress of anything. So when the sense of determination, sense of devotion you will install in your mind and start working accordingly, the terror will ultimately just remove and come out from your mind. This kind of thought he wanted to install in the mind of, okay, all the students of the world. At last I felt released, means he was now feeling relaxed, happy and content, free to walk the trails, okay, and climb the peaks and to brush aside fear. And now this young man was able to just move anywhere. He was no longer frightened at the presence of water. He has completely overcome the fear of water, that is hydrophobia. And the word hydrophobia, just he has deleted from his dictionary, okay, of brain, and now he was a completely brave man. So this is the homework assignment I have given. You will have to do all the NCERT questions of the chapter. And the second things I have given you, that you have noticed that the youth of today are often unable to cope with the stress and become frustrated and bitter. You might have experienced some of the some kinds of this kind of nature of the today's youth, that they are very much arrogant, they are very much annoying, they are very much upset and frustrated, and they don't talk lovingly. So why they are like that, what is the problem behind this all, you will have to explain, okay, in your speech, giving heading or topic, that uh, youth, their problems and solution according to your point of view. Wow, what are the problems, okay, that the youths are becoming irritated, annoyed, unhappy, completely frustrated, okay, and completely bitter towards the society and other members of the family and the society as well. What are the problems, okay, and at the same time you will have to explain what are the solution to make them feel happy. How can they be a good human being, okay, how can they be a pleasant human being, a happy human beings, okay. So you'll have to explain according to your point of view. Thank you very much, all the best, god bless you all.